Welcome to some One Piece action. If you're new to the channel, please give. You know what? Let me just say the cards, right? So this one is essentially our higher drop build, but with Ben Beckman and Whitebeard. So I want to just get that out the way. Basically, board removal has become a very important aspect to the game, and it's just like, okay, well, there's two pretty strong board removing cards. One trashes and has a higher threshold, while the other one is relatively continuous. You can just keep using it. And also 7k 8k swings. So, just to get that out the way, if you're new to the channel, please give us a subscribe, and if you're a returning viewer and have not subscribed yet, please give us a subscribe. It definitely helps the channel grow. Yeah, so this whole journey with Law is to try to rehabilitate him into the current meta. We understand that board removal is a bit toxic, and everybody's figuring out how to hit their curve, and there's a lot of double summoning cards out there, and it's just overwhelming the deck, right? Hey, look, once upon a time where I might have two characters on the board between 5 and 6k, you would have 5 characters, and one of them might be 6k until eventually 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That was traditional and fast-paced, constant swinging, because you used all little guys to swing, pop, 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 pop. But times have changed. Now it's like there's more characters on the board, and or they're just removing your board. It's just pop, 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 pop. Rob Lucci was literally Freddy Cougar for this deck. We're talking about the 4-drop Rob Lucci. I mean, you couldn't also put the leader in there because the deck in itself, like, altogether, but 4-drop Rob Lucci was essentially Freddy Cougar for this deck. So the only way you can kind of deal with board removal and the current curve system that people are trying to apply is to find a way to keep up, and find a way to keep up is bigger drops. Bigger drops are relatively stickier, and they hit harder in general. It's all in general. And in this context, well, our big drops also remove stuff off their board. So it's like a double whammy. Being able to recycle Otama is also fantastic. So you also get that little bit of luxury. You can just constantly Otama drop, putting their characters in range of things like Ben Beckman and Whitebeard. We could use our Whitebeard ability. Oh, okay, we're gonna keep him active. I guess that also keeps him safe. So yeah, so that's the idea of this deck. Now I would say this one might be more competitive, or these options. I want to say these options might be more competitive because Law's a bit of a complicated combo deck, and I'm sure the great Law players that are out there in the community could probably find a way to tweak this build and take it to a higher level. But I would say, so using these cards might help with the overall meta. But what I did like about the other high drop build using Basil Hawkins and 7-drop Kid is Basil being sticky and still a great stat line for defense and offense. And 7-drop Kid just being aggro, very aggressive aggro. Swing for 8, swing for 8, swing for 8, while always having a blocker as well. So that's what I loved about the build. I guess you could say it was more of a fighting build, and nobody wants to throw hands no more. This game doesn't want to throw hands no more. Now it's all about, I don't know, weapons, I guess. I'm like, is this the okay video to say pew-pews? I think pew-pews is a good censorship word right now. Yeah, nobody wants to throw hands. They just want you to pew your board up. And it's like, hey, stop it. But you can't stop it. That's just the way of the meta. So, got to get your own up in this. You know what I'm saying? So, we got Ben Beckman. I think he got a blicky on his whole shoulder. I can't remember what kind of pistol. Anyway, and then Whitebeard with his sea quaking. So I think, we put Whitebeard in our hand. Well, it makes sense because there's nothing on their board. And that's it. That's about it. It's just have a stronger top end, but this top end in this deck, board removes, cleans up that board. And it's perfect because we have the Otama. So if they try to develop a character of 8k status, Jack, you know, they try to develop a character of 8K status, it is getting taken off the board. You know, 7K status can get taken off the board. So that's what I'm enjoying about this particular build. I just think, like I said, with the direction that One Piece has taken, this might be the better deck to play. Until they utilize their banned and restricted lists more often, which I think would, I don't know, be too much of a shock. I don't know what to really say about it. Because I think board removal, this video got a little choppy. I think board removal hurt, I don't know, integrity is a strong word. Fundamentals maybe. Sorry if this sounds like I'm complaining. I'm trying to give you, like, guys, a particular idea. It's just like, you don't really get to enjoy your cards. You don't get to enjoy certain mechanics because of board removal, you know? So everything just ends up becoming a fight fire with fire, you know? So it's like, oh, they got board removal, we need board removal. And you can, you know, a lot of characters, if you're lucky for them to stay on the board, it's all circumstantial. I'm not saying characters can never stay on the board, work with me here. But it's like, you know, your characters don't get to stay on the board. Now you don't get to, like, use them and blah, blah, blah. And then you just, you know, you're just sitting there, and it's weird like that. I could tell you, because of the law journey, I had the decision to protect Makino. Because of the law journey, it's like, oh my god, they snipe what's his name, we just saw him too. Oh my god, I'm getting old. Cavendish, man, listen, it's gotten to the point when I'm playing, right, whatever supernova deck I'm playing, it's gotten to the point where I'm playing Cavendish just to get them to play something. It's like, I don't expect them to stay on the board anymore. It's just like, okay, here's Cavendish, all right, use whatever board removal crap you got. I know you have something in your hand. Here you go. Just get it, just hurry up. Come on, let's get this out of the way. So I would love to see them use that banned and restricted list to help control some of the flow of board removal. But I feel like there's too much now. There's too much going on. And that list would just either feel like it makes no sense to a lot of people or just be so all over the place and stuff. I don't think they can do that. But it is interesting to see how this rock, paper, scissors style meta is in a way helping to control things. But I just personally, I feel like we still suffer because when attacking effects are considered very slow, and I know in a lot of people's decision making, either you want on play effects or dominantly on play effects. Like, even still, you still kind of want on play effects, even with Blackbeard being out there. You know what it probably has to be? There probably has to be another Blackbeard-esque deck. That's what I'm thinking. If there's like another Blackbeard-esque deck that makes people control the amount of on plays they're putting in their builds and stuff, that might also help control the flow of things. But essentially, I think this will be the best way to, because coming from Yu-Gi-Oh! Years ago though, but I'm aware of what Yu-Gi-Oh! Has become. It's just constant OTK systems. It's like, you'd be lucky if you get past 3 turns, which is kind of creepy, because the old me can never see how that's fun. You know, you build a deck of like 40 something cards and you got 3 turns to play. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, because this game has to keep printing cards and you can't stop power creep, that's just the growth of a game in general. It would be crazy to just see nothing but board removal in the future, just constant, and then you got to make cards that can't be removed, and then you got to make cards that then you got to make cards that so it will get weird at some point, right? But anyway, I don't know, that's just my concerns. I think it'll always just be a concern, because it's just like I said, it's just experiences where it feels like you don't get to play, and it just feels weird. I don't know. Like, even on our end, when we have all the power, it feels so weird, just like that bound, like denying your opponent the ability to play. It feels like it's just weird. played games where you just hit the lovely curve. You know, they're starting their shenanigans, and it's like, yeah, cool, I'm about to do some gimmicks, and it's like, oh, trash. Oh, KO. Oh, bottom deck. Oh, this, that. So when you draw well enough, yeah, it's like your opponent didn't even get to play. You're just attacking directly the whole time because you just cleaning up their board. So I don't know. Sorry if this topic comes up too frequently, but it is a relevant issue. Well, not issue is a strong word. It is a relevant situation in the card game. Yeah, I remember there was a video I uploaded, right? I did some commentary on where it was a constant board remove for board remove. I just can't remember what the deck was, but it was our deck versus a Shanks, and both players just kept removing characters off of each other's board, just back forth, and I'm like, what has this game become? Like, what has this game become? You know? So yeah, back to Law. Obviously, if he didn't have to worry about the constant, all the amounts of board removal, he'll be a more effective deck. And it'll be fun. It's funny because I want to say his weak matchup should have been blue decks, because they print like a crazy amount of blue cards that target 1 and 2 drops. So that would have been fun to see. Like, oh yeah, this blue deck goes great against the Law matchup, yada yada. You know, like I said, there's a whole rock paper scissors system. But yeah, to combat all this, you just want to put bigger bodies or characters with abilities that can keep them sticky, help them stay on the board. That's just it. And yeah, hopefully this build does interest people, and hopefully it just opens the chakras to think outside the box. I'm comfortable with 7 drops being the highest that we attempt, even though nothing's stopping you from putting an 8 drop and a 9 and a 10, whatever works. It's all circumstantial. Just remember that. It's all circumstantial. The reason why I go 7 is because it leaves Don open for us to make any other plays. So it's like a 7 drop, a 1 drop, that's 2 bodies. So if we only have 3 characters on the board, we have a way to put 2 characters on the board and 2 Don to shambles. So that's why I like the 7 drops. But 8 drops are harder to take off the board. 9 drops are even harder. And 10 drops are, I would say, the hardest to take off the board. So anything can work. It's just, like I said, you got to just build the deck to be more acquainted to what's going on in this meta. Oh, we just took a very aggressive play. Get rid of the Nami. Let's get that Otama back. Get a blocker. Because just in case something pops off, we can just play. Oh my god. You hate to see it happen. He's gonna... What's he gonna get rid of? Okay, he's good. That makes the most sense. And then we got Chopper to protect our Ben Beckman. And it's like I said. Wait, yeah, we got a green character on the board. Yeah, so it's like I said, if he attacks and we choose to block, and everything is probably a little too strong for the opponent. Well, that's straight up, so technically we can counter out. It is the last turn. We can use the Don. If we wanted to, we could just block with Chopper, have 2 open, right? Then play Otama, play Ben Beckman, and guess what? Now we're back. Literally what I was referencing or talking about, I don't know if referencing is the right word, what I was talking about earlier could have played out if we blocked with the Chopper. And then boom, our board state would be back to full. Attack, yada yada. And then shambles. And yeah, but he this is on fumes. There's no way. It's literally over. I wonder what's going on. Is it one of those situations where they're just gonna wait and hope that we quit? Okay, there it goes. Well, that's nice of our player to not, like, we don't need to take the Jack off. Remove Jack from the field. Yeah, there you go. We don't need to do that. So that was nice. That was nice manners. Good manners. And we're going up against Vegapunk. I wonder what the future holds for this game in terms of boss cards. Because I've really been lately looking and feeling like a lot of boss cards or a lot of colors have weak boss cards, is what I'm trying to say. You know, right now, Blackbeard, perfect. I think that's a lovely boss card. Charlotte Linlin, Big Mom, always been a great boss card for any Linlin deck. It's just always been a great boss card. Not a fan of 10-drop Kaido. He eats up way too much Dawn, blows up the whole board, and yes, it can give you an advantage, but it creates a disadvantage for you. Big problem. So, just like 9-drop, it's so weird. It's so weird. Just like Purple just never had good quality boss cards, and whatever you got is just gonna put you in a bad. Like even Douglas Bullet was such a lovely card in terms of its stat line, its comeback potential, because it's a 10k by default with double attack if you use its ability, the ability to rest 2 blockers essentially, you know, 2 6-drops. So yeah, I'm gonna just bypass everything and punch in the face. I wonder if that's hockey. If that's is that what that is? I just use Conqueror's hockey and put y'all to sleep. But anyway, you know, but it's 4 Dawn. 4. So it's like, yeah, Purple always suffered when it comes to their boss card options. So the overall point is I'm learning, it's like, wow, a lot of these colors don't got great boss card options. Red, ooh, they were loving that 9-drop. When 9-drop Whitebeard came out, it was in everything red, just 9-beard. Terrible. But Doflamingo 10-drop had its time to shine, but now it feels like a lot of people aren't too happy with it, I would say. Like, they don't really care to play it, maybe, question mark. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's not a staple boss card for people. I guess because its effectiveness is chaining them, and if you don't get multiple, it doesn't feel like it's going to help you. It doesn't feel like, that's my theory. Yeah, but outside of that, I just can't wait till every color gets adequate boss card options. And yeah, I just feel like a lot of colors are just blue. Come on now. I guess we can also say green again, because green at the moment, Zoro. Okay, so I want to say there's 2, respectfully. I'm gonna say there's 2. But you look at blue, that 10-drop Kaido, the bounce Kaido, that thing ain't doing anything. Now, if it bounced an 8 and a 5, at once upon a time, I used to say it should have bounced an 8 and a 4. And I would have been like, okay, that's a good stat line. But no, if it came out today, I feel relatively, I feel like it needs to bounce an 8 and a 5. It probably would be printed bounce an 8 and a 4. But I feel like it needs to say 8 and 5. But 8 and 3? Like, what the hell? What am I doing here? What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Late game? What are we doing here? Now, granted, I know they're expecting us to use more blockers. Maybe there will be a meta where blockers are more relevant. But, yeah. And then there's the draw Kaido, which is always in win more territory. Because the turn you play him is usually you lack defense, you get attacked, and all the cards you just drew, you just dump. So it's usually a win more situation for 10-drop Kaido. But yeah, all in all, interesting. Oh, we still got the Nami though that we can pop. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Good options. So that's what I can't wait for the future. I'm gonna start commentating the game. But that's what I'm excited for in the future is more boss cards that can see honest play and do something, have a legit impact for your game. Legit impact, I'm talking about, legit. Nobody's gonna convince me that any 10-drop Kaido is running these streets. Nobody's convincing me. Even Purple, I don't care. If it's a 10-drop Kaido, it was doing nothing relevant enough in the meta. I don't care. Argue all you want. You know, a boss card I would love to see get more play is Kaido Lin. It's such an end game card. It's literally just end game, and it kind of seems stupid to be end game because why are you giving me a life? if the best opportunity for me to use it is when you have one life left, then I swing, it burns, and now you got to defend the 12k directly because everything I just blew up the whole board, right? So now you're defending the no blocker, no nothing. So it's just like, it's kind of weird. I mean, thank you for giving me a life, but you eat all my Dawn. So you're only beneficial for me to just simply close the game out. But I do hope that one day, you know, I can actually see that card getting some real use. It's just so cool. You know, it's a true end game closer that sees no play. It's nuts. So what we're gonna do here? We got 3 empty slots. Oh, now we got 2 empty slots. 1 empty slot. We got with a 6 Dawn, so we got like plenty of Dawn to do some shenanigans. They only got 2 cards in their hand, 1 life. They're struggling. What do we got? I mean, we got a 3-drop Zoro. That's cost effective. But then it's just like all reds, right? On the board. I guess Kid Killer is better because you're going to need to attach a Dawn to Zoro, while Kid Killer is going to be 7 when he swings. And then you can shambles restand wall and swing again with Kid Killer. So I think that's the protocol here. Deploy. Click it. There you go. Are they letting it go? That's about it. We just need a shambles play. There we go. Let's get that restand law. I wonder what we're thinking about. Trying to make sure we don't misplay. Okay, I guess it's like what target, the Dawn or Nami. I was thinking Nami from the jump. Oh, we went for life. I thought, because we're basically gonna cripple them. You know, if we just took their last character off the board. That's what I would have did. But then I guess you can argue they would have 2 life now. Because why not? And then enough Dawn to put something on the board. So now you there were you. Okay, they would have 3 life. So luckily there's and they would have They would have been able to pop our chopper, gain a life, then use leader ability, gain another life, and they would be at 3. So wow. Yes. It was a good call. Wait, what just happened? They didn't use their Yamato ability? That's wild. I would have definitely gained a life, especially since what's his name still works. Frankie, what are you trying to do? Interesting. Especially since Frankie still gets its effect as the second card in life. Or second to last, more accurately, right? You know, I'm gonna say one more thing. Well, more so about helping decks. They need to come out with an EBO. I really think they need to utilize their leader lock mechanics here, and just come out with some busted 5-drops for Law. Meant to play life first, then. Okay, I see. Oh, I think maybe he wanted to use his character ability, then leader ability to cover that. That's probably what it was. Well. Thanks for watching.